Hey y'all, welcome to a video. Today I'll be drawing sodas. First off, I wanted to start out with Dr. Pepper. I really love this one, and despite really loving the soda, I really had a hard time with the design on this one. I originally wanted to start out with a really nice pose and wasn't liking how it was going, so I ended up just doing like a couple of, quick sketches to see how I wanted to make the character. I know I really wanted to have like these really cute little like swoopy bangs and a ponytail. I kind of wanted her to look like Tara from The Walking Dead almost. I really thought that I nailed it on this really small, like almost chibi looking version of her, but I ended up not liking her. I wanted to go with a more anime leaning style versus chibi, which is sad because I did start to ink it and gave up on it. I did end up really liking the design. I thought that the colors were really nice together. I love the color palette of Dr. Pepper because it's a lot of dark reds and like really pale colors and everything. And throughout this entire thing, I tried to make sure that I had at least like one hand in the photo throughout all the pictures except for the last one, which you'll see in a little bit. I wanted to incorporate like how Dr. Pepper has 23 different flavors in it, or at least it claims to have 23 different flavors in it, and so I wanted to incorporate that somehow, and I ended up putting it in her irises. I thought it would be like a cute little nod to it, and you can't really see it until the very end because of how I did the eyes, but I thought it looked really nice. I did forget originally about the dog tags though. I completely colored everything else and I kind of forgot about it. I did eventually go back and do it, but it did take me a minute to realize what I had forgotten before I did it. I really wanted to lean more into like the darker browns and like really warmer colors. Like I tried to do that with everything, sticking to mostly like orange, like the orange and red parts of the color palette and the color wheel. I do really love how the hair came out. I don't know why, but I just love the little hair swoops and how the hair curls. It kind of reminds me of Momo from My Hero Academia, if you've ever seen that. But I also knew that this character was probably going to be pretty cocky or something. And of course, right before I put on my signature, I end up doing the dog tags. And that's it for her. Next is the rivalry of Pepsi and Coke. I could not imagine drawing these two separately, and because these two have always gone competing head to head, I wanted to put them in the same photo, like as if they were winning some sort of prize. I did want to originally have them holding both the same trophy, but I figured, for some reason I just couldn't get two hands in the picture. It was not a hand day today. It just wasn't. I had to sketch it over a few times because I wasn't liking how the details were coming through, and because Pepsi is technically, much younger than Coke, Coke came first and Pepsi kind of stepped up to the challenge, I wanted to make Pepsi look, younger, and to have Coke look a bit older, which I incorporated in this final sketch here. Or not the final sketch, but the final inking. I wanted their outfits and everything to look almost identical. There is a little bit of a difference, but not much. And that's pretty much because, at least me personally, I can't taste that much of a difference. I don't like how much, ginger-ish flavor is in the Coke, because it's a bit too overpowering, and that's why I prefer Pepsi. But aside from that, I don't really taste a difference. I know that there is one, but, it's so subtle. And so that's why I tried to make them pretty similar to each other. Similar but different. It looks like they could almost be siblings or something, which I thought was a pretty nice detail. I still wanted to leave a hand in to prove that I can still do it, but I don't really know what he is doing with his hand. When it comes to coloring, I wanted to make them stick with colors that appear on soda cans. So the red and the white, obviously, for Coke, and the red, blue, and white for Pepsi. but the silver came from, I think it's Coke, it's Diet Coke. For Pepsi's hair, I had a little bit of a mishap. I couldn't figure out how to make it work, and now looking back, I think I should have done like a darker blue instead, but I still really liked how her hair turned out. I think it really lent itself to the whole, like, they're similar but different. And for some reason, his hair, I had a hard time making it not look like he was some sort of giant candy cane. I really tried on it, and, like, it's still the first thing that I think of, but I'm hoping that the point still comes across that these two are not supposed to be candy canes. I tried to make, like, for the Pepsi girl, I tried to make her, like, her bangs in the front look more like the Pepsi logo, which is why they're all proportioned out like that. And with the background and a little bit of words, we are done. The next is the only other dark soda that I could think to do, which is root beer. Although it isn't caffeinated, it still is a very important, like, soda, in my opinion. From what I found, root beer is often drank by children because of that. Like, because of the lack of caffeine intake that children can get from it. And so I wanted to make it seem like a child. I didn't really... Like, originally I wanted to do, like, a paper in their hand, but I couldn't seem to get that to work, and once I got done with the colors, I wanted to make them pop, and I ended up going for, like, the main reference. I ended up going with AW root beer, even though I really like the one with the Pitbull on it. I didn't really know that there was a difference till I was doing research for it, and I also tried to make it to where the thing keeping their hair up looked more like the cap. I wanted to do Fizz going, like, not Fizz necessarily, but the coloration in their hair is supposed to look like Fizz coming down from, like, the side, because that's how I've always seen root beer. Logos.